Hey, Brixel! Now, the script we initially wrote was all about how the End of Dragon soundtrack is now available on vinyl, how G-Shade support is ending, and that Guild Wars 2's minimum specs are increasing. Now, these are all good stories, but honestly, it was not the most exciting episode ever. However, as I'm sure you all know, because you clicked on the thumbnail, this video isn't about any of those things. Yup, ANET did the dang things! We finally got a studio update outlining what's going down this year and in the years to come. But heads up, this post is thick. I mean, it's thicker than a frickin' Pixar mom. So buckle up, nerds, it's last week in Tyria. If you like these weekly Guild Wars 2 news videos, be sure to ding the thing and join the conversation down below the like button. With that, let's see what 2023 has in store for Guild Wars 2. The post starts out with ANET giving themselves a rather well-deserved pat on the back. And rightfully so, boasting that the ArenaNet team earned several end-of-year awards from top gaming press, including PC Gamer's Best Ongoing Game, MMORPG's Player Choice MMORPG of the Year, and Massively OP's Best MMO Studio 2 years running, Best MMO Expansion, and Best MMO Business Model. As I've said in previous videos, 2022 was the year of Guild Wars 2, and it goes without saying that some accolades were in order. But I mean, if you've been following this channel at all, you'll know that my only outrage is the fact that ANET didn't win more awards. I got my eye on you, Keely. Anyway, about that roadmap. There are some huge changes outlined here. I mean, this is hardly even a roadmap, it's a manifesto for the future of the game. And seriously, if ANET can pull this off, holy shit. The post reads, our goals for the next phase of Guild Wars 2 are simple. We want to deliver content updates in a more timely and consistent manner, and we want to provide better support for the wide variety of systems and game modes that make up the Guild Wars 2 experience. Providing better support for all these systems seems to be core to their development philosophy, with the post adding, there are so many systems in Guild Wars 2 that have good bones, and they can be even better with just a bit of love. So yeah, ANET are promising support, and that's all well and good, but I mean, Lord knows anyone who's managed to keep vague consciousness within the gaming industry is well aware of developers making promises they have no intentions of or the resources to deliver on. Cough cough the day before cough. So yeah, it's reassuring when a studio lays out not just what they're working on, but how they're approaching development and why they're doing what they're doing. On that note, ANET explained that with their previous Living World and expansion model, they were simply unable to sink the effort into expansion content while also working on Living World content, meaning there was certainly no time to give the required love needed to gameplay systems. As such, some of these systems fell behind. So I guess that means that whatever ANET do next, they have to find the resources to work on expansions, Living World, and systems development simultaneously, right? I mean, right? Well, this is where my eyebrows started doing that Stephen Colbert thing, because apparently, ANET's solution is to completely shake up the way they release content. Rather than launching an expansion every 2 to 4 years with a season of the Living World in between, we'll be releasing smaller expansions more frequently at a slightly reduced price and adding additional content for those expansions through quarterly updates, meaning that the next big release is only ever a few months away. Now, let me take a moment to say, I f***ing told you so. My clickbait ain't just clickbait. Sometimes it's goddamn prophetic. This seems like a really elegant compromise. It's a balance between the Living World system that punished players for not logging in for a few months. Yeah, I'm still salty I had to buy all those episodes I missed. And the Saga experiment, which they tried out with Icebrood. Icebrood was a good idea with a good story and some really great maps, but holy shit, it really dragged its heels with champions. Seriously, just try playing it solo now and see if you can resist the urge to pull out your own teeth. So, ANET continued by outlining the average release schedule for an expansion and the follow-up quarterly content. And seriously, let ANET never be accused of not being thorough. The first release in an expansion cycle is the launch point for a new story arc, bringing with it 2 new open world maps, 2 new strike missions, new gameplay and combat features, new masteries, and new rewards. In the following quarterly updates, we'll add another open world map, additional story chapters, challenge modes for the strike missions, a new fractal dungeon and challenge mode, new rewards, and additions to the new systems introduced in the expansion. Once that expansion story is complete, the next expansion will be just around the corner. Now, I think what I said earlier bears some repeating. If ANET can pull this off, holy shit. But that's a pretty big if. I mean, like an if bigger than the dump trucks Pixar are animating those moms with. Look, I don't want to doubt A-Net here, but producing the quality content we've come to expect on a quarterly basis? Plus, while they don't actually say it, the outline does imply expansion releases would be like a year to 18 months apart. I mean, it's all very exciting, but it's also really damn ambitious. Now, as long as we're talking about things that have got me concerned, there's also absolutely zero mention of new raid content. And I know I can't speak for everyone, but raiding is like my favorite thing to do in the game. The thought that it might be going the way of the dodo. Wait, for real? Huh. I can't see that going badly. Well, the thought of raids going the way of dungeon content is kind of a bummer. Okay, so now that all of that is out of the way, where's the actual f***ing 2023 roadmap? Yeah, studio philosophies and whatever are great, but when are we gonna get our greasy gamer hands on some new content? The next chapter of Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons arrives on February 28th. With familiar allies like Detective Rama and his hat at your side, you'll travel to a new location in Cantha and come face to face with a deadly foe that resides deep within the Jade Sea. That storyline will conclude a few months later with an update that introduces additional playable space to the map, adds meta events and boss encounters, and lays the groundwork for future to be announced adventures. Now, I really want to put some emphasis on this bit. Unlike a Living World release, all owners of Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons will gain access to this content, meaning there is no pressure to log in to unlock it, and no gem cost for missed story chapter unlocks. Dear God, thank you, A-Net. This has always been one of my biggest gripes and has consistently been one of the biggest barriers to entry for new players. However, just to be clear, there is no indication as to whether or not this content philosophy will apply to future releases. But holy shit, I really hope so. Continuing with their timeline, in the first half of the year, we'll release the Suwon Legendary Weapon Skin Variant Collection, 2 Profession Balance updates, a new Fractal Dungeon and Challenge mode, and multiple updates for World vs. World. Additionally, we'll finish rolling out the DirectX 11 and Chromium Embedded Framework upgrades and run our usual festival and bonus events. We also have some quality of life updates in the works, including a long requested feature that will allow you to queue up for PvE maps when they're full. We might have a few surprises in store for you as well. Yes. Better late than never. And if the few surprises they mention are at all on the level of map queues, I mean, it's possible 2023 could outdo 2022. The post concludes with a high-level look at the game's upcoming releases, those being February 14th, Profession Balance updates, World vs. World objective reward scaling, and Chromium Embedded Framework upgrade, which all happened last week. February 28th, new Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons map and story content, and Suwon Legendary variant, which should come out next week. March 28th is the Super Adventure Festival, which I will be streaming in its entirety this year come hell or high electricity prices. April 28th is the DirectX 11 upgrade completion, bringing the game finally into the 21st century. And May 2nd, a Profession Balance update, courtesy of that lovable dynamic duo Roy and Cal. And that's it. For now, that's all we know about the year going forward. Obviously, more info about content and more dates will be dropping throughout the year, so be sure to gray out that sub button if you want to be on the cutting edge with your pal Brixel. Thank you, Kevin. Now go away. Game director Josh Grouch Davis wraps up the post saying, "We're so excited about the next phase of Guild Wars 2. Both the things we were able to share today and what's just over the horizon. The changes we've outlined will allow us to provide a better experience to our fans, release new content updates more consistently, and ensure that Guild Wars 2 will be around for many years to come." Steer that ship true, Grouch. We're all rooting for you. But that's it for this week's episode. I know it's not a conventional one, but did you really want to hear me talk about system specs with all this business going on? However, before I leave you guys, it would be remiss of me not to mention this. Also, I think Moopless might break my kneecaps if I don't include it. I'm very afraid, so be sure to go sub to him so he doesn't come for me. Anyway, End of Dragons finale song A World Without You has been nominated for an Audio Gang Award. In the words of lead composer McLean Deemer, this is a meaningful award because they're voted on by the game audio community. So, while a Grammy would have been nice, Guild Wars 2 got the nod from people who actually know what the f*** they're talking about. And with the nomination, we got the official release of a music video for the song featuring Joyce Kwan. Be sure to go give it a like and a listen, it is beautiful. And with that, good luck to A-Net with the Audio Gang Awards. Right, that's it. I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, all the links to do so are below the like button. Doing all those social media things like liking and sharing would massively help out the channel, as these videos take an insanely long time to make, and every little bit of support helps. Big love to my patrons, especially my Guardian tier patrons, Liam Pullis and Anthony Hodson. You guys rock, thank you so much. And thank you, Brixel loves you very much, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.